All right, well, I'm ready when you are. I'm recording. I thought you were gonna do it.
No, I was doing the you where you always like you smile and you look in the camera and I'm always like, when's he gonna start? When's he gonna start? Hi guys, welcome to the podcast where all we ever do and all we've ever promised and all we will ever do is talk about Escape from Tarkov, because this is a Tarkov only podcast. And if anybody mentions anything about it's not a video game podcast. It's not a pop culture podcast. It's not a music podcast. It's a podcast about Escape from Tarkov.
Yep.
And I have to apologize because I've been talking about other things, and
oh my god,
it's come to my attention that there are people who are really fucking upset about they need us to talk about Tarkov, so I'll never let it happen again. Tarkov, so many things are new. Let's talk for an hour and a half about Tarkov and all the things that we can fit into an hour and a half about Tarkov.
An hour and a half about the rain in Tarkov.
Because go fuck yourself. Apparently the labs cards are 500k. Cool, sick.
We talk about the pogger thing in life, singular. Escape from Tarkov.
We talk about the only pogger, the pogger with capital T, capital P.
It's all that's pog in life is this one singular thing that we play.
You know, I'm glad we didn't name it like the Tarcast or something, because then we would have been like narrow casting to like one. Then it would be false advertising.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing. You know, we always talk about there's a heavy focus on Escape from Tarkov. That focus has been on a diet recently.
Yeah.
And it's less heavy.
Yeah.
For now, while, you know, nothing is fucking happening.
Yeah, while nothing is happening, like.
And all we do is talk about the same shit and, you know, feel like we're banging our heads against the walls.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I played Tarkov.
Did you really?
Yesterday, yeah. I was going out to dinner with my wife, so it ended up ending a little bit early. And there was maybe like a 45 minutes left of my stream. I'm like, you know what? Oh, so I went to play Hired Ops.
Oh, okay.
Which we can talk about.
Yeah,
so I played Hired Ops for a little bit, and then I'm spoiling it a little bit, but basically like half an hour of Hired Ops made me want to play Tarkov.
Yep.
And then 2 factory raids in Tarkov made me not want to play Tarkov. So yeah.
Yeah. Nice. I'm sad that it ended as quickly as it began.
Yeah. It just solidified that I need more.
Yeah.
More time, I think.
For sure.
Because even if the game, I mean, it feels better with the Steam audio for sure.
100%.
But it's still just at this point, it's not you, it's me. It just doesn't, you know, I don't love playing it right now, so I'm hoping taking a break.
Yeah.
Will give me that.
Yeah, and it's like everybody's feeling that way. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy that people give you such crap about it, because it's like, click on any other streamer, you know, insert streamer name here, and after a few hours, everyone's like, you know, what else we got going on? Anybody got, you know what I mean? Send me some Steam pages. You know, it's like I've been playing like Warzone at the end of the stream. We played Hired Ops, like some Hunt Showdown, which is already more FPS shooters in the past 2 weeks, or FPS games the past 2 weeks than I've ever played on PC ever. Yeah. So it's like, it's not like it's just, dude, it's so funny. It's not like you're way out in left field, like, oh my God, Veritas isn't playing Tarkov. I feel like it's just because what you're playing isn't Tarkov adjacent that people have such problems with it. Like, I can go play Warzone and then everyone's like, oh, you know, this game is trash, or I've been grinding this out. But like, you know, God forbid, the Ocarina Legend of Zelda on the Ocarina of Time, one of the most beloved video games of all time. And it's like, so.
Yeah, I feel like we have to like we're always going to be and I say always, which is, it's not really always, at some point, you know, if we're doing this podcast 20 years from now, which, oh my God.
Imagine.
Can you fucking imagine what kind of dystopian future that we're still doing the podcast 20 years from now? Hey there, fellas, we're doing the arthritis cast.
Bro, that would be.
But like, we're always going to talk about Tarkov,
Yep.
but there's so many other fucking things that are relevant and that are interesting and that are fun.
Yep.
And if all we did is play Tarkov and all we did is talk about Tarkov, I mean, you guys saw how so many people were saying, "Oh, the Tarkov talk is getting so negative. It's getting so negative. All this stuff." And it's like part of like I agree, and I was getting frustrated. So part of my trying to fix that is taking a break from it.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like you can't fucking have it both ways. People want us to
100%.
They want us to just love it. We have to love it. And if we don't, I mean, I guess we don't. They'd rather us not do a podcast about anything else than do a podcast on Tarkov and then not do it if we're not interested, right?
But not even that. Like if we missed a week, like we missed a few in 2021 because I had a kid, you had some stuff going on. A few weeks later, like dude, things have gotten, life is crazy, and so we've missed a few. And every time we miss it, dude, I have a ton of people being like, "Where's the podcast? Where's the podcast?" Not in like an abrasive way, but people are like, "Yo, like it's weekly. I love to listen to it. It normally comes out Monday, Tuesday. Like where is it?" So it really is exactly. It's like you can't have it all the ways. It's like we can't just manufacture brand new, fun and exciting things to talk about in Tarkov. Like man, I'm just like coming to grips with the whole like damned if you do, damned if you don't like thing. Like we had a conversation last night in chat where somebody accused me of sugarcoating my entire opinion of Escape from Tarkov because it pays my bills. And, it was
You're fucking shill.
Yeah.
You corporate shill.
It was the whole, well, of course, we're talking about cheaters. And I was like, my perception of them is that I don't ever run into them. Like if they're in my raids, they're not speed hacking to me. You know what I mean? They're not stealing my Red Rebel. They're not taking stuff out of my Gamma, whatever.
You don't play labs.
And I don't play labs.
Raid.
So I'm like, I'm not saying there are no cheaters. I'm just saying that I don't see them. And if they kill me, it's not sus enough for me to report them most of the time. And he was like, well, of course you'd say that. And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, well, if there's no players, then you don't get a paycheck. And so we memed on that for a while. And it was just one of those things where it's like, when we're here and we're really hypercritical. Okay. Which brings us, we're going to talk about, I guess, later. Tonight, it'll probably all just be interconnected, which is totally fine with me. Dude, the line from the DJ Peach Cobbler video. Oh, I sent you the Death Stranding one, but you watched the BioShock one, right?
I've seen every single video he's done. I've watched them all.
The BioShock thing with if this was a review, it'd be glowing, but as a critique, it's harsh. That whole section of the BioShock thing blew my mind. And exactly. If you're asking me, if you stop me on the street and be like, yo, have you ever played Escape from Tarkov? I'm immediately going to be like, I love that game. I've put thousands of hours into that game. I love Tarkov. But when we're here, when it's you and me one-on-one talking about the game we've both put thousands of hours in, critiquing the changes they've made, we're going to be harsh. Yeah. We're going to be really harsh because we want it to succeed, because we're tired of the bull crap, because we're frustrated at the game. So, but people, it's just like, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. When we're talking negative, it's like, oh my God, like stop, like the comments, stop playing Tarkov if you guys hate it so much. It's turned so negative. But then when I'm in chat talking to a newer player being like, dude, like you'll learn to love it. Like the cheaters aren't as bad as people say. They're like, well, of course, dude, it pays your bills. You're sugarcoating it. And it's like, oh my God, it's just, and I have to just learn to accept it and not rage out about it. You know what I mean? Because it was just so funny that both of those things happened in the same week. Where, well, for context, what we've been talking about, everybody that's listening, is that like there was some dude on Twitter that posted some stupid thing.
If you look at his tweet history, he's a big giant piece of shit.
Yeah. And it's not even worth like bringing any attention to him, but he tweeted something about like, shut up with the speed running talk. Tarkov is why, which I love, Tarkov is why we are here. Tarkov is why we listen. And who are you speaking
We are Legion.
for? Yeah.
I represent everybody.
And it was funny. I responded to him quickly, and then everybody hopped on, and it was so great because everybody was like, basically, you're an idiot. Anyway, so that's what we're talking about. So it's just funny, in the same week, I'm having to defend my love and hate for Tarkov. You know what I mean? And it's like,
it's almost like there's a fucking reasonable middle ground.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Everything, this is the problem with God, and this is what happens. I think when you hit 50 years old, I guess, when you're like, this is the problem with kids today, is it?
Yeah.
But like, I feel like so many of the issues that we have outside of even video games, when it comes to politics, when it comes to science, when it comes to fucking whatever, it's just that like you have to fucking pick a side and stick to it, and no matter what, right?
Yeah.
Like there's never any nuance, there's never any discussion that needs to be made. It's not ever more complicated than one person is 100% right or something is 100% wrong.
100% wrong.
There's no gray area, and it's like, fuck, like it's a reason why I can do videos where I can say, Tarkov is the fucking greatest game of all time, and it's the most broken bullshit game of all time.
100%. Both. And I'm
not trying to be like edgy. It's like the dichotomy of something that you love and hate, It's why you can have like relationships with people, and they can be the most beautiful, fruitful, painful, agonizing, things.
The very pursuit of perfection, or at least betterment, is on the back of like problems and struggles, right? Like perfection isn't attainable, but we only get better. Like, Tarkov only exists because Nikita played games and went, I wish they were this way, I wish they were better. And now Tarkov is the closest thing to this ideal video game. Everybody that's really into Tarkov, this ideal video game that we all want, Tarkov is the closest thing to it. So as long as it's in development, we'll all, we'll be like, yo, like, come on, like, this is a problem, this is a thing, we're trying to get better. And hopefully, my big hope is that like gaming changes because of Tarkov. I hope other bigger publishers, other smaller indie guys, everybody starts hopping on this bandwagon of, we don't have to maybe hold the player's hand as much as we thought, and brutal and hardcore can be fun. And maybe a better game will come. Maybe all the haters are right. Maybe Tarkov will die off. Maybe it will never release. Maybe it'll fall away, but hopefully it sets a new precedent. But until it does, I'm going to root for it. I'm going to root for Tarkov. And part of rooting for it is like, it's not perfect. And we can talk about that. Like, it's this podcast, like, make no mistake, we don't have this podcast because we think Nikita watches it and is like taking copious notes on the changes we want. It's just, and I put in the tweet, I was like, it's two dudes hanging out talking about a game. That's it, bro. Like, I'm not waiting to see my changes in the patch notes with a big fat thank you JesseKazam kissy face. Like, I'm just talking about the game, man. Like, I don't know. It got crazy this week on both sides of the freaking thing, man. It's wild.
And I mean, it another thing that it all boils down to is, and this touches on everything from like even criticisms of the streams to the podcast to other content creators and their videos that they make or whatever. The whole idea that like people feel like they're, and I can't say this without feeling like I'm a fucking 57-year-old man, but people feel like they are entitled to so much. Yeah. It was actually like, I was reading that tweet in the, I want a golden goose, Papa. I want a golden goose, and I want it now, Papa.
Dude.
Give me a golden egg, Papa. Give it to me. Like, what a whiny piece of shit. You know, like, holy crap. The fact that you can say, like, we want this, and this is what I want, and this is what I should get for a fucking medium that we do for free. Yeah. That we've literally never, up until pretty soon, have ever had any ads. There's never been fucking commercials. Bro. There's never been, we have done this literally for free. Dude. For our own enjoyment and your entertainment. And somehow people are like, upset as if they've been paying $29.99 a month for like we're Comcast and we're not giving them what they paid for. I know. And what's crazy is that, dude, one of the comments on the most recent podcast was like, it was something like some stupid bullcrap about the speed running stuff. And it was like, I feel so bad for Jesse now. He just has to do this because it's his job. And so I commented, I responded as JesseKazam, and I was like,
how much money do you think we're making off this? Like that,
Dude, you gotta do it for the kids.
That I would be compelled to sit here and just grin and bear it through this podcast for the fat stacks we're making on our 9,000 views on YouTube. Like, I was like, what do you don't get to do that. You don't get to project onto me that I'm suffering through this for the money, bro. Like, I was just like, I couldn't not respond to that. I was like, you can't project that onto me. Like, that sentence is so... The whole sentence, it was like, first of all, you're a douche. Second of all, you can't tell us what we enjoy. Third of all, you can't tell me what my financial situation is. Fourth, you're assuming how much we make off this. Like we're like 2 months late. We haven't even monetized the YouTube channel yet, and it's been we've had the ability. We've hit the 1,000 subs and the 4,000 watch hours like 2 months ago, but me and Veritas are both so busy. It's like, where do you think my fat stacks are coming from that I'm so compelled to like care for my children by sitting through this podcast I don't want to do?
If you had started up your stream and we're doing Tarkov and then whatever, you would be making more money. People would be subbing to your channel and donating bits and whatever right now. If anything, you're losing money.
Yeah.
By doing this. Now, it is an investment in, a brand and whatever, but dude, you mean to tell me that that the same people that would call us entitled and that would say that we are the ones that are like ruining the game because we are trying to make things the way we want it and we're entitled to have everything exactly how we want it, and we're also simultaneously ignorant and make all sorts of assumptions. Those people are the ones that are the most fucking entitled clowns that are demanding everything is exactly their way and are completely ignorant of all of the facts and make a bunch of giant assumptions.
Yeah.
You don't say. It's kind of like, for a while, my response to a lot of the shit people were saying was, you're projecting.
Yes.
And it's exactly like, people are like, oh, you're just saying that because it's a non-answer. You've just given up the argument. It's like, no, you just don't realize how much you're fucking projecting.
Yeah. When
people are almost always complaining about, they're almost always committing the crime they're complaining about. Like, imagine how ironic it is when someone says, I'm so fucking sick of tired. All you do is whine and complain and you're so fucking negative all the time and I hate it. And I just look at the camera and I'm like, you're projecting.
Yep.
Do you not see
irony
that? In you just fucking complaining and whining and being negative.
Yeah.
So you either have to accept that there is a time and place to complain and be negative.
Yeah.
Which I would agree is the case.
For sure.
But then they would have to retract their
criticism. Because then they would have to acknowledge that time is now for you. Yeah.
Exactly. Or, they have to have it fucking both ways and be completely blind.
You're not allowed to complain and be negative, but I am.
Yeah.
And what's crazy, like you were talking about, people think they're entitled to so much. And what's happening is they're crossing lines. We saw this, we've seen this forever in Twitch chat. The whole, like, somebody says something super terrible and then they pull the freedom of speech card. You know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, sure.
Because I am the government.
Yeah. You can say whatever you want, but like, I don't have to have you in my chat. Like, I'm just as free as you are. Like, I can ban you, not give you a reason why, deny your unban request, and never even know you exist past this moment. If you're allowed to say whatever you want, and I'm allowed to do that, they're crossing the wires of free speech and freedom from consequence, which isn't true. It's the same thing with, well, I'm entitled to my opinion. You 1 billion% are, and everybody's allowed to have their opinion, but that doesn't negate that it makes you a dick to come and shout your opinion to me without me asking it, especially if it's a negative one. It's like, you're 100% entitled to your opinion. You're 100% allowed to not like the podcast. You're 100% to prefer the Tarkov portions of it. But that
I prefer you not here, and I fucking prefer you gone.
But that doesn't mean that you're free to like tweet at us both, say we don't like this stuff, pretend you're other people. Like, that does not mean the same thing. Like, just because you can't back up a bullcrap argument with, well, that's my opinion, 100%. And if I had asked you for your opinion and it was negative, then I couldn't say anything. But to just project it and shout it into the universe in a medium where you know that you can get our attention, because you can literally like at us on Twitter. I'm going to get the notification. You know, my notifications aren't 99 plus every day. I'm like, you're crossing those wires, dude. Like, yes, you can have your opinion, but you are still crossing over to being a dick. Like imagine walking up to a barista at Starbucks and being like, dude, your hair is gross. I'm entitled to my opinion, bro. It's like,
you can't be mad at me.
What?
You can't be mad at me that I said that to you because I'm entitled to my opinion.
Yeah. That's
that's why it's part of why I like metaphors so much, and I try to. It's such a double-edged sword because I try to make these metaphors so that people understand kind of like the line that they're crossing, because they see it differently, right? They see it almost as if, imagine if you went and you like tweeted about a movie that you saw, criticizing it. That is one thing. But that's not what they're doing.
No.
They are doing the equivalent of we're doing a Broadway play, and they go, "Stop the fucking show. I hate this.
Yeah.
This is bad. You should do something different." And everybody is supposed to listen to them, and we're all supposed to have all of our attention on them, stop the show. It's their show now. No, they get fucking kicked out.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But they don't see that.
They don't see it that way. They just see, I'm entitled to my own opinion, bro. And it's rough.
But you know what we have to do is pivot to, while shitheads like that can get on our nerves and they can be like the loudest or whatever, I will say that from all the messages that I've gotten personally and the responses that we get on those tweets, and it was great, both from content creators and from community members. That was I have to say, like, overwhelmingly better than the negative feeling. I mean, even though I basically tongue in cheek was just like, go fuck yourself, and I felt pretty good about that. The love from the community basically being like, listen, and there was two kinds. There was one, I love the speedrunning stuff, let them talk about it, because actually we ended up adding the fucking chapters or whatever, and it was like 7 minutes of speedrun talk, and then an hour and 10 minutes of
like the economy
everything else. But you know, regardless,
no, it ended up being. I remember I was talking to my wife about it. I was like, man, I was having, between a few things, I was having a rough day. I was letting this stuff really get me. I was like, this actually turns to a huge source of joy for me. Like, this has become amazing because everybody, Pep's response like actually had me rolling. Like, it was so funny. And so it was really good. And somebody even put that in chat earlier, where it's like, you have to remember that, you know, 99% of people love it, and it's a small percentage. And we know that. It's just like, why do you think fast food workers aren't like the happiest people? Because they don't hear you did a great job when they did a great job. They only hear, you got my order wrong, you suck, this place sucks,
how hard
I
could
hate
your job be,
you have the
clown.
easiest job in the world, how can you do this? This is why you get paid minimum wage. You know what I mean? It's like, how many times did you tell the barista? Did you tell the fast food guy? Did you tell the server when they did when they didn't do a phenomenal job, when they did a good job, that they did a good job?
You just say thanks while you were messing with your radio in the drive-thru. Thanks, and then you drive away.
So it's like, it's to the people. Here's the pivot to the people that like this podcast. You call those people the vocal minority. But to the people that read the comments, it feels like the majority, because you cross a threshold where if you like the podcast, you might drop it a like. But all the
videos have 98% upvotes.
This isn't a ploy to get you to comment on more of our YouTube videos. It's just to
comment on more
to help you understand. To you who love the video, the negative people are the minority, but the ratio of comments isn't even, I wouldn't even say it's more than 50% negative, but it's a lot closer to 50% negative than you guys think, because you like the podcast and you don't read the comments. So the vocal minority, which is why, I mean, that stretches to a lot of other places in our culture right now where the vocal minority to the concerned parties appear to be the majority. So that's why we know that. We know that most of you guys like it. We know that if there's 10,000 views on a video, 98% likes, 120 comments, and 30 of them are really negative, we can do that math. We know it's the minority, but it's what we see over and over and over. And we're just allowed to respond to it sometimes. Like, you know what I mean? Like I found that to be an interesting thing. I don't think anybody's done it tonight, but some people, it's a weird backwards, like negative or like diss to the content creator where they're like, just don't read the comments. Just don't do that. And it's like, I know you're trying to be positive and spin me back positive, but now you're projecting. You don't know what it's like to have more comments to read than seconds in the day to read them. So we're allowed to respond to it. We'll make mistakes when we do it. I try not to engage with them. Sometimes I can't help myself, but it's like, you just got to remember that the vocal minority to you might not be the minority to somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's the fast food worker metaphor is a really good one.
Yeah.
It's a really good one for sure. And that's why, like, one of the things that me and my wife, we like take pride in, there's a few places that we go locally. And granted, like I absolutely don't do this everywhere and I wish I did it more. But there's a place that we go and get breakfast, crepes, and coffee. They've been closed for since I think last year sometime, actually, because of COVID. But they make fantastic like crepes and espresso, and everybody there is fucking awesome. We walk in and they're like, Mike and Meg, hey, like they know our names.
Yeah.
They've given us 2 years in a row Christmas cards.
That's crazy.
It's a cafe. We walk in there and they have a Christmas card. So I literally tip them like $25. Like on an $8 bill, I'll do like a $20 tip.
Yeah.
And like we'll say, whatever, happy holidays or whatever. If I find out it's one of their birthdays, or something like that, we'll do something. And we're always, whenever we see the owner, we're always like, you have such a fucking good crew here, because I know that that's the sort of thing that like will make their day. Yeah. Because I've worked like retail before, and I've when you hear a customer that's like, that one over there, he was really great. You're like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. And that happens so infrequently.
Yeah.
Just because people are just living their lives. They don't,
Yep.
And the same thing with this one woman at not the closest McDonald's, but the McDonald's that's right next to the highway, that I used to stop at when I worked, when I was doing software. I would always stop there on my way to work. And she would never fuck up my coffee. She always was perfect. Like, and she was always super like chipper in the morning and just like made me start my day with a smile. And I called the number, I think 2 or 3 separate times, to be like, I'm assuming most people call and complain when they call this number, like feedback for us. And I'm like, this woman is the fucking greatest. She deserves like a raise. She should be the goddamn manager, because she's like so awesome. And those are the things that like really are the shit, and people should do more for sure. For sure.
I feel like I want to touch on this really quickly. Somebody in chat said, think about it this way. You make a bad comment and you guys talk about it for 10 minutes, make a good comment and no one mentions it. It's exactly what I was talking about. Like, you're trying to put a positive spin on it, but you're projecting as well. It's like, if you think we spend 10 minutes on the podcast talking about every negative comment, then you have another thing coming. And the other thing is, like, once again, you might not hear it, but we do. At the end of almost every single podcast, we spend like 5 minutes saying, like, thank you guys for being here with us. The love that you guys show us on social media, the fact that you guys, like, when we started the new channel, every week, both of us were like, dude, the love over there has been insane. Like, it's to a smaller audience, but like the comments are so awesome. Like, we do, you know what I mean? Like, you might not hear it because we're not saying your name, but it's once again, it was like both halves of that. It's like, I do appreciate the love I get, and I say that. I spend like 7 minutes at the end of my stream thanking the people for the support every night. And on the flip side, it's like, that statement is assuming that every time there's a negative comment, which is, once again, which cheapens what we're doing now, which is like, we deal with this day in and day out, and sometimes we got to vent about it and let it out. We're spending 10 minutes talking about it now, It's like if you think there've been no negative comments up until now, you're once again assuming you understand and know a bunch of things. Like, I'm never frustrated at ignorance is always a strong word, but I'm never frustrated at ignorance. I would never expect you to know something that you wouldn't otherwise know. I get frustrated when you talk to me like you know the thing you know nothing about, and you don't. So just like
it's the difference between asking. It's why every Reddit post says Veritas shits on me for asking a question. When you look at their banned chat logs, it's always stating something as fact and then telling me why I'm so stupid to believe otherwise.
Yeah.
You can put a question mark at the end of "you're fat and ugly," but it doesn't mean that I just asked a question, right?
Yeah.
So when you say like, how can you say that something is something because here's my, misunderstanding about a thing? You're just fucking trolling me.
Yeah.
You're either trying to waste my time and you're probably not worth actually talking to, because it's clear that you've come to the conclusion and you just want to tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah.
When it's almost always the fact that it's almost always in response to like a video I spent 2 months fucking working on and researching.
Yeah.
And have put together my thoughts. And I'm basically past the point of having my mind changed until new information is brought to me, right? You can't just say, gravity doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And you have to take my word for it. And if you deny them, then you're not open-minded. It's like, no,
100%.
You're going to have to come up with something better than you're wrong before I'm going to pay any fucking attention to you. That's how it works in science. And that's how.
But then we get accused of like, you're splitting hairs. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's amazing. Like the way it was phrased doesn't matter. Like, you know what we're talking about. And it's like, dude, to me, I don't care what you call it. I'll split hairs all day. The way something is phrased matters infinitely to me. Like some dude came in last night when we were talking to the guy about how I apparently get paid under the table to sugarcoat how good Tarkov is. Somebody came in the raid and like into the chat, and the message was, there are cheaters in 100% of your raids, guaranteed. And I was like,
what information do you have that I don't? I want access to it.
Guaranteed, you say. I was like, prove it.
I'll bet that guy $1,000 US, and I'll PayPal it to him today before the podcast is over. Yeah. If he speaks up in chat and can give me,
if he can prove it,
the source.
That was my thing. As I was like, I'm not even saying you're wrong. I'm just saying, prove it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
dude, it's
how do you say that?
I feel bad. I feel bad because
he never said anything else in chat.
This is the shit that I've been talking about for so long, and I felt like, so I feel both vindicated and like really happy, but then at the same time sad that, one, I hope I haven't, like, I'm sure some bit of my like cynicism and shit has bled over into like your content creator brain to some extent. But at the same time, it's like, I love that you're coming to all the same conclusions that I've been really wrestling with and struggling with as a content creator for the last couple of years. That like, and you used to be the everybody would point to, but look at someone like Jesse. He doesn't ever have haters. He never is told that he's wrong. He's never blah, blah. And it's like, it's hard for me to be like, but he's just a better fucking human being than I.
No, but it's not even that. It's
the answer is he just hasn't been doing it long enough.
Dude, well, for real, the answer is like, when you had 39 viewers, were 50% of them toxic? No. But when you have 1,000 views, like, that's the thing. Like, man, when we started the podcast, dude, it was a complete different game. When we started the podcast, I was not partner. You know what I mean? Like, I remember that was a big deal on the podcast. We like that we talked about, I got partner, and we talked about Twitch, and it was a good episode. Like, when we started the podcast, I had 40 viewers. You know what I mean? It's like, you can't just be like, well, man, Jesse never gets haters. It's like, bro, stop by now, tonight, and let me know. You know what I mean? And I try, you know what I mean? I try really hard to, I wrote out several replies to that man and deleted them and rewrote them until I got to where I was. And then somebody even commented, he was like, man, I don't know how you stay so civil when people talk like this. Because I try, I really, really do. But dude, it's different. It's not just
you shouldn't care
Jesse's
so much
a better
and spend
person.
so much. You shouldn't care so much and spend so much time responding to these people. They mean nothing, and that just Are you that narcissistic?
Yeah.
Just wait until why is JesseKazam such a bad person? Because for all the things that you do that prove that you're a fucking like actual respectable, normal, decent human being interacting with a bunch of people on the internet, many of which are not those things, and it's impossible to tell the difference. You really are kind of fucked if you do and fucked if you don't.
Yep. Yep.
But I'm both glad and sad. You know, it's like when your son grows up and they, you know, see the world for the sad, like painful place it is. Feel like
that's my future. My son's gonna grow up and be like, the world is a terrible place.
Well,
no, but it really does mobilize a lot of positivity. You know what I mean? Which really is nice. Like people, some even other content creators that I didn't know even cared about the podcast were commenting on it. You know what I mean? So I was like, that's kind of cool. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's weird, but
this is our mental health episode that we do once a quarter.
Yep.
To just vent bullshit and to get it out of the way and to
stay sane.
I mean, I definitely absolutely needed this. I'm sure there's already people who have already commented that have already clicked off of the video and have gone to another show that were like, fuck, I can't listen to this whining, blah blah blah. Or Jesse's turned into a whiner just like Veritas.
Bro.
He's spent too much time with Veritas, and I'm sure some of that's probably true. But
no, dude, the most, I shouldn't even say this because then the troll, but like the most annoying thing to me is like when people try to compliment me by dissing you. And I'm like, what do you think this is gonna accomplish?
As if you're so fucking vain and selfish that you're gonna be like, yes, dude, they fucking like me better than him.
Oh my god, this is sick. Like,
oh yes, that's awesome.
I rage. I get, those are the ones I have to force myself to never respond to, because if I do, sometimes
the end result is going to be, well, you're just fucking like him.
Yeah, I will, like, the whole don't feed the trolls thing on the internet is sometimes so true. And as a content creator, it's not maybe my job, but what I like to do is try to suss out when somebody is potentially changeable, when somebody is open to a conversation. We actually talked to the guy who told me about that I sugarcoated the game for like 5-10 minutes in chat. And I loved that he was at least responding back. The guy that said I run into cheaters 100% of the time, not him. The guy that told me I run into cheaters, he didn't say anything.
That was a drive-by comment.
So I try to, but there's no response I can give to that isn't giving them what they want. Because they're like, none. So I can't respond to that. But it's that's an insta ban in my chat, dude. It's like if I'm live, it's like, it's just like, what I mean, imagine walking up to a couple while they're both there and being like, your girlfriend sucks. You deserve so much better.
Or saying,
does the guy give
you're super fucking hot.
Yeah.
But your boyfriend is an ugly piece of shit. Why are you with him? As if the girl's going to be like,
give me a hug. Come here,
she's
you.
Gonna be like, you're a dickhead, and then you're going to get your ass kicked.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. So it just...
Dude, I had this exact conversation a couple of days ago where I was talking about what I do is I usually, someone says something questionable, and they're like, there's a little red dot put above there, a blinking red light, meaning this is like a 50-50 chance.
Yeah.
They're either a troll or they don't know better. I'm going to, let's fish and see. And I'll usually ask them a couple questions, and it's pretty easy to tell after a short amount of time, like, oh, this person's just a piece of shit, and I get rid of them.
Yeah.
Whereas sometimes people are just confused, and I held a poll because somebody came in and said something. Oh, it was like 4 hours into the stream, and I was speed running. It was a great day. I had got a new PB, everything was fine. And then we started to talk about having a meta conversation about how to deal with the ambiguity of like if someone's trolling or not or
Oh,
whatever.
okay.
And it was like my therapy session with chat.
Yeah.
And then literally out of nowhere, 20 minutes into the conversation, someone comes in and says, every time I come in here, this stream is so negative, like and it was like, and I just said, everybody read this comment. Everybody read that comment. And it was like, they just assumed they knew what, and I'm like, and he's like, what? I'm just pointing it out. It's just my opinion. It's just whatever. And it was like, and I'm like, no, dude, like, you don't get it. He's like, no, dude, I'm just saying, I came in here and it's negative. I'm like, no, you don't get it. Like, you are a perfect shining example of the thing I was talking about.
Yeah.
Where it wasn't even negative, and you just turned it negative. And he's like, oh, well, now everybody's going to attack me. And it was like the perfect example of this whole meta thing. And I held a poll that was like, okay, chat, because everybody was saying, not everybody, a bunch of people were saying, dude, if they're trolling you, ignore them. Otherwise, explain it to them. And it's like, you think it's easy to tell? Yeah. And I ran a poll and it was 80% to 20%. 80% said he was serious. 20% said he was totally trolling. So that 1/5 were like, you should have instantly dismissed him.
Yep.
And 4/5 were basically like, no, he's totally serious. He's just an idiot. And it's like, so you guys, it's not even like it was 99%.
Yep.
And if I get 10 trolls a day and let's say I represent chat, 2 of them are going to be actual trolls. And then 8 of them are going to be, if you go off of those numbers.
Yep.
So I'm not always going to get it right. Sometimes I might waste 10 minutes with someone who's like, ha, racist, whatever. And then it's like, oh, I didn't realize that you were a fucking idiot, and then you just get rid of them.
Yep. And then when you get it wrong the other way, when they were legitimate and you dismiss them, they form the Reddit posts and the movements about how you're an actual dick. And it's like, it's just, which is why, I mean, the ultimate conclusion to that basically said, like, listen, I'm going to be wrong some percentage of the time. I would rather give people the benefit of the doubt and think a troll is serious. To me, that is, so they wasted a little bit of my time and my brain power versus taking somebody who is serious and labeling them a troll. That is like when somebody knows the truth to something and nobody believes them. When they were like they're put in jail when they were innocent of a crime, when, like their friends all turn against them because some other friend lied. And like, it's the worst position to be in when you are misunderstood and people judge you. So I would much rather get it wrong one way than get it wrong the other way, because I don't want to ever make people feel shitty. Like, imagine that, like, I'm Jess, you're my hero. I'm like a 14-year-old kid. I want to be a content creator or whatever. Like, I look up to you. Imagine me saying something a little bit stupid and douchey because I'm 14 and that's all I said when I was 14 was stupid, douchey things. Imagine you think I'm like a dickhead 20-something-year-old troll and you just instantly dismiss me and ban me. That's like you walked up to Shaquille O'Neal, like, can I have an autograph? And he just pushes you down. It's like, get out of my way, kid. And it's like, that's so
that's how supervillains are created. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's the worst feeling, and I want to avoid that. And in order to do that, every now and then I get my fucking time wasted a little bit by some people who are shitheads, and I'd rather have it that way. But then when the double side of that is when if that works, and every now and then you get a little bit of time wasted or whatever, but for the most part, you're minimizing the worst case scenario as much as possible. But then the meta problem is that all the other people who mean well, who aren't trolls, start to try to tell you how you need to approach it because they think they understand. And then now you're at odds with the people who
support
were
you
on your side. And you're like, you just don't understand. And you're getting Twitter DMs and Discord messages and people giving you death threats and being like, I know where you live. And like, you just can't explain all the fucking shit to all the people, have them understand what it's like. So that's when I felt the most fucking alone, when it's like trolls just made me feel shitty. And then now my community's telling me, not only should I not pay attention to them, but I'm not supposed to feel shitty about it.
And what they don't understand, hates me. What they don't understand is, like we talked about, your problem with the trolls wasn't most likely what they said. It was the ignorance and pride with which they said it. They're talking about something they don't understand. So if you put at it through that lens, now your supporters are like, they don't realize they're committing the same crime. It's like, I'm not mad that this guy came in and said Steam Audio causes ghost steps or bugs. I'm mad because has done no research and then states things as fact, something he doesn't know about, and that's what I'm frustrated. So when you then turn and say Veritas, it's easy, just don't read the trolls, you're committing the same essential crime, which is speaking so matter-of-factly about something you don't know. And that's, exactly, where it's like, you don't understand now that you're doing the same thing that this guy did. It's just not about Steam Audio, so you don't think I'm going to get frustrated about it. It's weird.
The takeaway from this is we all need to be more like open, understanding, and aware of all of the idiosyncrasies of things that we don't understand. That's why I'm like can't say if I was president, all of these things would be fixed, because I know how much shit I don't know that would make it impossible to do all the things I'd want. I know that I forgot where I was going with that, but
100%. What's one thing you would do to fix the economy? I don't know. I can't say anything without being ignorant. I don't know what it's like to develop this game. That's not a question for me. It's like I can't speak to that.
It's why I suddenly, every time I see a news article that's like Justin Bieber or insert whatever celebrity, like this piece of shit and whatever, and it was like a fan had this interaction with them, and you just think like, I bet you it was totally different for that person. I mean, Bieber or whoever, the famous person might be a piece of shit. A lot of them are pieces of shit, but like, it's why I don't instantly jump on every single hate bandwagon, because it's like, I don't know the story. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I know that I've been on in my little microcosm community. I've been this is the worst human being ever, the equivalent of the magazine that's like at the checkout aisle in the supermarket, the tabloids.
Yeah.
That's basically Reddit. It's like Veritas is an alien, sent from fucking outer space to mess with Tarkov. Now it's like, oh, maybe I shouldn't jump to believing the same conclusions that everybody just spits out all the time. We all need to be more skeptical and reasonable, and give more benefit of the doubt.
Yep.
Because we all don't know what we don't know.
100%. Oh, I live by that, dude. Man. Yeah, we don't know what we don't know. And asking questions is such a and if you're listening to this and you're at all thinking, well, then how do I interact? It's ask questions. Real ones, right? Not like statements with question marks at the end. It's real ones. It's, to keep the Tarkov stuff going, it's like, why do you use on Steam Audio? I've heard this. What do you think? Like, real questions are such an easy way. Like we talked about this a few weeks ago, like even when I know the answer to questions, a lot of time if I'm in a situation that I'm not too sure about, I'll ask it as a question anyway to like make sure that I'm like on the right track or heading in the right direction. And
oh yeah, we talked about that, right?
Yeah.
So like, are you sure that such and such a thing? Like coming at it from like, oh, educate me, even though you might know the fucking answer.
Yeah. Yep. Because being wrong is often so much better than being right, because we learned something. You know what I mean? Like, so
it's so exciting when I have my mind changed on things, and it's not often. Because I have had my mind changed so, like, there was a period of time where I rapidly had to fix so many misconceptions of my like understanding of reality during like the late high school, early college years. I was like, oh, this is where I kind of adopted scientific philosophical skepticism, and where I was like, oh, okay, maybe 9/11 wasn't an inside job. Maybe, like all this other bullshit that was like, oh, maybe all the stuff I know about politics, I don't know about politics. So step back into I am in the middle, and I don't know. I don't have opinions on anything yet until more information comes in.
Yep.
There's nothing wrong with saying I don't know.
Yep.
And there's nothing wrong with, like, the default state should always be that you don't know and you withhold judgment until you have sufficient evidence or reason to believe something.
Yeah.
That should be everybody's course of action with literally everything in your entire fucking life.
Yep.
When it comes to signing a contract, buying a house, getting into fights with friends,
or typing
whatever.
in Twitch chat.
All of it. It needs to be more of, Okay, explain it to me then. But unfortunately, even that is bad. And fast forward or rewind to any podcast that I ever had with the team / and or with like BSG and Nikita and all those things. How many times I was like, I haven't seen, how do you know that thermals are a problem? You must kill 100 people a day and loot their thermals to find, because that's the only way you would know that you got killed by a thermal. Otherwise, you got killed by somebody and you assumed it was a thermal. So how could you know it was a thermal? You ignoramus, how the fuck can you deny that thermals are a problem and blah, blah. It's like, I'm not even denying it. I'm just saying, how do you know it? Yep. And the problem is that you might be right, but for the wrong reasons. If you're just guessing and everybody's using a thermal, okay, well, you're right, but for the wrong reasons, which is the worst thing.
Yes.
Because you think, like, then you make a conclusion about how you arrived somewhere that you're like, I can use this later on, and then you'll make a mistake later because there's a fallacy in your logic.
Yep.
But it's always been, I was the one that didn't agree or didn't understand what people were saying and always asked questions, which gave so many people the impression that I am a moron. I'm like a simpleton. Like, literally, I've never said that I was a genius. I've never said, people call me a genius. That's too generous. People say that I'm like a smart guy, whatever. I've never said any of that.
Yep.
I actually like was an average student and, whatever. I coasted through school because I was lazy and I knew what teachers wanted, not because I worked hard. Like, there's so many other people who are so much like my wife, so much smarter, so much harder working, that like deserve that kind of respect. But what I have is like a framework around reasoning and thinking.
Yeah. That
starts with, I don't know, let's ask questions and let's try to arrive at the best tentative conclusion.
Yeah.
And that's the most honest, intellectually honest,
100%.
Respectable, mature way to go about anything.
Yeah. If you want to seem smart, don't talk about things you don't know anything about. It's that simple. It's like,
smartest people are the ones that know when the doctor is talking to the engineer, they are instantly like, they're caveating the boundaries of like, oh, I'll talk to you about these diseases, but I'm not going to tell you about tensile strength and whatever load because
exactly. It's like, people call that smart, and that should be normal. It's just, you just don't talk about things, or at least don't talk in matter-of-fact sentences about things you just don't know anything about or have never experienced in your life. And then when you speak, people listen, and when you ask questions, people inform you. And life is much better, and everyone around you will perceive you as infinitely smarter when you didn't actually get any smarter. You just stopped talking about stuff that you know nothing about. It's like you can increase your perceived IQ by 100 by just talking less. It's crazy. Anyways. So yeah, I don't know. This is therapy session.
We need to. This literally needs to be like episode fucking. What episode are we on? Are we in 50
49? Either 49 or 50. We could be 50.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Wait, I want to look now because 50 episodes. 50 episodes. That's when
therapy session.
I think that 50 episodes is when I think we're legally obliged to get like some sort of MeUndies sponsorship or something.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't read the paperwork, but I think we have to have some sort of. No, this is 49. Okay, so pretty soon, chat. We're probably gonna be throwing in, some brief little advertisements.
Advertisements.
And it's because we put a lot of time and effort into this stuff, and this is our full-time jobs now, both of us, and we've got families, and there's only so much we can do for free before our wives start to be like, how much are you working for free? I'm like, oh, okay, babe, I'm doing the podcast, but at least I'm sponsored by Totino's this time, okay? So I'm talking for 30 seconds about, whoever the fucking sponsor is, so that maybe we might be able to make like $20, and turn this into something meaningful. But
it's exciting. I don't know. I'm excited. I think it could be cool. I think it's even going back to gaming, it's like it's been great to me talk about other games and explore other games and explore other things about gaming, because at the end of the day, like we talked about, if like we want to do this podcast and if there's nothing going on in Tarkov, like the reality of it is what carried us through our first like 30 episodes was just the fact that you and me were talking. Like you and me had interacted quite a bit before then, but like not regularly. I was a regular in your chat. You know, you guys had me on the team podcast once. So like so much of that was we were just starting a podcast at a time where hundreds of thousands of new people were coming to Tarkov. So at the time it seemed like an infinite amount of topics and subjects to dissect and to go into. But the reality is like, yeah, here a year later, you know, what's happened between today and last Tuesday? What I have written down here is that in Tarkov, when you double tap O, if somebody's hit the power, it's no longer green in your extract thing. I don't think we can turn that into an hour and a half. You know what I mean? Like that's where we are. And hopefully towards the end of the year, we're going to get Unity 2019 and factory expansion and inertia and streets and scav karma and these things. I feel like we could devote 10 episodes to Streets of Tarkov whenever that comes out. Like hopefully, yeah, one day Tarkov will feel better. It'll be more fun to play and there'll be a ton to talk about. But in the meantime, we like to do this. If you
want us to be sane and to continue, I mean,
yeah.
If this is only going to be Tarkov, then what you're asking is for, you know, the potential to basically be like, okay, well then the podcast is over because we don't want to talk about Tarkov anymore. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. So it's cool to talk about other games. It's cool to talk about other stuff that's going on and other content creation, and you're changing the strings on your guitar, and music is a huge part of your life. I DM'd you the other day about like we should do something together.
We gotta fucking collab.
We're so busy, but I would love to do that. Like, so there's more stuff that we like as human beings. We're gonna talk about that stuff and I don't want that to come off of while Tarkov's in a bad state, because I think that propagates just bullcrap information. I'm having hella fun playing Tarkov. It's just that nothing's changed in the past week, and I can only say I'm having a lot of fun shooting people in the face at dorms so many times. You know what I mean? It's like, if you don't want to play, you don't play. If I'm having fun, I'll play. There's just nothing to talk about. You know what I mean? It's just that's it.
So here's one thing I wanna say, because I think this is an interesting way to look at it. As a content creator, when I'm watching other content, which I recently I've been getting into DJ Peach Cobbler, which you fucking got me into, and we can talk about.
I'm
for a little
so glad
bit
you liked it, dude.
Oh my god, yeah, he's my dude's my fucking spirit animal. Like, I feel like he is the me in, like, if I am who I am in Tarkov, he is me in everything else. Like the Venn diagram of all the other things. Like, oh my god, he's the one that has like the unpopular but absolutely right take on everything. Like, I fucking love that. I love when people are like, I'm the only one in the room that believes this, and I'm the only one in the room that's right. I'm like, you know, and sometimes that person's like, the earth is flat, and you're like, oh fuck, okay, well they're out of their mind. And other times they say like, you know, Death Stranding isn't the worst game of all time, and it's like, oh, okay, interesting.
Yep.
I wanna hear where this person's coming from, because unpopular opinions, you can either learn something new or have your mind changed.
Yep.
Completely. Like, learn a little bit new, and that might be, I learned what the wrong people on the opposite side of the argument think.
Yeah, which is
That's
valuable.
Useful. Yep. Or you might say, oh, I was totally fucking wrong. Or in the case of Death Stranding, it was, I had come to the conclusion that the game was shit without any information. Yeah. I did not apply the rules that I said before, which is withhold judgment until I have evidence, and real evidence, not hearsay from people who may or may not know. All the people that reviewed it 0 that never played the game. You know, like, I would recommend you guys watch.
Dude, he's so good.
Watch the video that Jesse recommended to me. Go on YouTube and search for DJ Peach Cobbler.
The ritualistic sacrifice of Death Stranding is the name of it.
Yeah.
I'll link it down below this time.
so
People
good.
were
It's
mad that
so
I didn't,
fucking
which
good.
is justified, but it's
But what
yeah.
one of the things that you have to do as a content creator looking at other people's content, when someone is like, all right, let's take a brief moment to talk about today's sponsor. I am just like you in that I roll my eyes, but then at the same time, and I might hit the like fast forward 30-second button a couple times, but at the same time, I'm like, you realize that for some people, that 30 seconds can be thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Like thousands of dollars. Or when someone's doing a sponsored stream and they play a game for a couple hours, they might get paid $100, they might get paid $10,000, but like when I see any of those opportunities, so many people turn that into something negative.
Yep.
And it's like, can't you like just let me have this little bit? Even if you skip it, even if you roll your eyes at it, whatever, but realize that like if we're trying to do this as a full-time job and we're trying to support our families, like wouldn't you love if I gave you the choice of, okay, everybody listening to this, you have to hit fast forward 30 seconds twice. And if you do that, Jesse and I will both get $500. Or you don't have to do that and we get nothing. Who in their right mind is going to be that much of a dickbag that they're like, no, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally, it takes nothing to just accept, you know, like, I'm not even asking that you fucking sit through the ad or that you even go buy it.
Yeah.
Whatever the thing is. I mean, that's not to diminish whatever it is that we're sponsored by and that we're talking about, because we're not just
we believe
be, like,
in the products,
whatever. But like at the same time, you know, if I want to fucking talk about Raid Shadow Legends for 60 seconds in a video, it might be cringy, but what's less cringy is saying, hey babe, I'm sorry that I made $2,000 less this month because wow, people might think I'm cringy.
Yeah. Or it's less cringy.
You turned down an ad for $2,000 because people, you fucking asshole, we got bills to pay.
Yeah.
Right? Like, come on.
Or the
fucking break.
The clip of the girl on Twitch is like, it's $5. If you can't subscribe to me for $5, then what are you even doing in my chat? Like, it's less cringy than that too. So just, you know what I think about sometimes? Like, you know how back in the day when cable was king, right? And if you were up really late still watching, you got the same commercial at every commercial break because that dude was getting it dirt cheap because everybody thought nobody watched then. Yep. We're in that era of ads on Twitch and YouTube where the reason people have a problem with Raid Shadow Legends is actually, I believe, so much less about it being a pay-to-win game and their like business practices and just about the thing that they've seen the commercial 100 times. We've all been there. I've been there on Hulu. I've been there on cable. If I see that commercial one more time, I've been there.
It's a meme.
Yeah. And so that's where we are. What we don't realize is that like the entire industry of advertising is on the precipice of falling off the cliff that is Twitch chat and YouTube, where it won't just be Manscaped or Raid Shadow Legends, which they've evolved. And now the company that makes Raid Shadow Legends makes 11 games that are all Raid Shadow Legends reskinned. So now they can advertise different things. But you're going to start to see more of it. And that'll be a cool world because we'll be in control of what our viewers see, so it'll be more relevant and we'll have so many more options. And I really believe, I think the advertisement experience 5 to 10 years from now will end up being a lot better even for the viewer because it won't be just cable TV where they just kind of shotgun approach and they're like, this is this kind of TV show. Maybe this type of people will like my stuff. Like it'll be like gamers that play this or content creators or tech reviewers, and it'll be a lot more specified. There's just not a lot of options these days, but the attention economy is definitely moving this direction. So I think about that sometimes, about how like 5 years from now, I feel like it'll be in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, I think once it's more the whole idea of like content creators and making money, it's the Wild West.
Yep.
And part of like, from our perspective, part of it is like the money is so volatile and
Unreal,
all
yeah.
over the place. And, it's complicated by the fact that we've got like family members, significant others that all have like expectations that we want to be able to like meet. And then at the same time, because we have to justify like, oh, you're not looking for a job, honey? Well, okay. What are you doing then? Oh, well, I'm working on a video series. Okay, well, what does that mean, right? Like, it's so hard to quantify and to explain, so that when some company's like, I'll give you $1,000 for playing a game for 2 hours, you're like,
yeah.
Am I going to get banned for playing this game? Or, like...
Dude, 100%. Especially when the perception, somebody said, what does a streamer make on ads? Like $5 per viewer? If you're talking on Twitch, it's like $5 per like 500 to 1,000 viewers for one ad or more. Like...
Yeah, I don't even run ads.
So the volatility...
I literally
I don't
only
either.
ran ads
I don't
on
either.
Twitch
Drops
drops.
day. Yeah.
Because I don't remember the number, but it was like I got to stream for 100,000 people, and it was the one day of the year that I'll ever have that opportunity. And every few minutes I hit a button, and nobody in chat said anything, and nobody died. I didn't kill anyone's kitten when I hit that button. And you know what it did? It printed like $15,000.
Yeah.
For me.
And what's crazy is you were talking about the volatility of it, the conversation we had. The next day, that was December 31st, January 1st, I streamed. January 1st, I streamed to 13,000 viewers, which is significantly less than 100,000 viewers, but 13,000 viewers. I'm pretty sure I ran 4 times as many ads as you did.
But you got like 10%.
Because I'm a poor man, and I made $100, $180. 13,000
and that
people.
made me so fucking sad, because it's a big black box and we don't know. Imagine if we had planned that and we had been like, this is how much money I made and blah, blah, blah. And we had like a goal.
Yeah.
How would we have known that like the ads that they sold up until the end of the year were one price, but then January 1 at midnight 01 instantly was a different CPM, so that now you were getting paid a tiny percentage of what people who had streamed 60 seconds before you started.
It literally
nobody knew.
Is that way. It was like an 84% drop off in the ad buy price the minute it hit January 1, because Christmas and December, and they just sell all the way through December. And so it's like, it just goes to show the volatility of it. You know what I mean? Like it's pretty crazy. Exactly. So when it's funny because that we're talking about this, because like Twitch wants to are trying so hard to incentivize partners to run ads, right? With like the whole like disable pre-rolls. And remember, they started running mid-rolls on their own, and they pulled that back because everybody was freaking out and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
And then they introduced the whole like where if I run an ad, that my camera stays up in the top right corner, you can't hear me, you can only hear the ad. They're trying so hard to incentivize it. And did you see any of the drama around, like, it was like 3-4 weeks ago, it came out that there was like code in the Twitch API, and it was like a brand ability score that everybody was freaking out. And it was so, once again, ignorant, because that is literally the best thing that could possibly happen to Twitch is give me a brand ability score, because it's going to be a 97, because like,
you're not an edgelord.
Exactly. What
douchebag.
People were freaking out like, oh my God, I'm going to make even less money. Right now, with no brand ability score, when Twitch sells an ad to Coca-Cola, Twitch, the multi-billion-dollar Amazon-owned company, cannot guarantee Coca-Cola that ad is not going to be placed on the channel of a racist person.
Yeah.
They can't guarantee Coca-Cola that. But on YouTube can. On Facebook can. Because behind the scene, Google has analyzed every word I've ever said on YouTube, and they've given me a brandability score. They say, this guy has given us no reason to believe that he'll be X this way when you put an ad in front of him. And Twitch doesn't have that. And people were freaking out, and I feel really bad for the Twitch guys, because they don't always make good decisions. But this is one of those, like, Twitch is going to make more money, and the ad rates for partners and people they're gonna make more money if Twitch can guarantee to the advertiser that this person isn't going to be a terrible human being while they're repping your product. So it was such a heartbreaking thing.
The more money that we make from other like corporations, the less money we need to, like, we will subsist on from like kids that take their mom's credit cards that shouldn't, right?
100%.
I don't know. I would much rather, and there are ways. There's two different models, right? There's like the free model where you get ads, or there's the paid model where you don't, which is why, people were freaking out about like people getting ads, even if they were subbed and whatever.
Yes.
But like, I feel like people just need to be, and everybody's going to be different. There's going to be different extents to which people allow sponsorships or, whatever. I turned down 20 fucking deals a day because none of them feel right. So the times that I have done it, it's because they felt like they were right or they felt like they fit. But it's actually kind of sad how much money from random multi-billion-dollar companies that would want to throw at me, because I'm like, people might be upset. And that actually makes me sad. Yeah. Because I just think about like all the, I'd be that much closer to fucking building a house for me and my wife and all this stuff, but I didn't do it because some rando person might be butthurt that I'm playing a game for an hour out of a 10-hour stream, that was like, people just need to be fucking. And
I positioned it that way. I did the Raid Shadow Legends thing when I was moving, and we needed a security deposit, and it was just like we were really close to having the baby. We were trying to time it before the baby so that we could get in and get settled, and the internet wasn't working at the office. So it was one of those things where it's like, well, if I can't stream at that office, then I'm not going to be able to afford the house. So we need to move so that I can get better internet so that I can work more. And that requires a certain sum of money so that I can move and get. And I was like, we're doing the Raid Shadow Legends thing. I was like, I have two options to supply for my family right now. It's come on this stream and beg you for money, or make this company none of us care about pay me the bag. Like, if you're so butthurt that I'm playing this game so that they can pay me instead of you, then dude, fine. I don't want you here anyway. You know what I mean? Like, I position it that way. It's like, what? Isn't it so much better for me to be like, yeah, they paid the money so that your content can be free 24/7. I'm not running ads on Twitch because I can do it this way. Like,
people are just scared. Ultimately, it comes down to people are scared that that suddenly we're going to have so many opportunities available to us that all we're going to do is sponsor bullshit content so that nobody's going to want to watch our stream, right? Because it's just going to be, now it's a Raid Shadow Legends stream. I mean, they would have to pay me $500,000 a year salary. I actually don't even think I would take that. I don't even think, because I wouldn't even want to stream. But like, it would have to be asinine money, like asinine money. But like, you just need to be cautious as a viewer that, like, give us the benefit of the doubt. Yeah. If once a week for a couple hours we're going to take some sponsored content, and if that literally pays our bills, and then the rest of the time we can do what we fucking want and what you enjoy and whatever, then you should be fucking all for that.
100%.
If someone's rocking 100,000 viewers, I would be like, this one day I'm going to go without entertainment for this one day, and I'm just going to create 27 Twitch accounts and let this guy fucking go crazy, because we're in like a bubble and we need to take advantage of whatever. And I'd much rather have the money come from giant billion-dollar corporation X than a bunch of kids all donate $5 at a time. You know what I mean?
100%. 100%. And what's crazy is that people treat this mode of entertainment so different because it's more personal. It's like, you ever wonder why those 30-minute TV shows you watch on TV are only 22 minutes on Netflix? It's because when you used to pay $100 a month for cable, for every 22 minutes of content, there were 8 solid minutes of ads that you had no control over. You watch a TV show on
cable now when I go to my aunt's house or whatever, and it's like 3 seconds of a video, and then it's like commercials again? Like, how did anybody fucking watch television?
100%. 8 minutes. Imagine a 4 to 6 to 12 hour stream at the rate that cable goes. 8 minutes of ads for every 22 minutes of content. Like, and they turn that off, turn on stream, and then freak out about a Raid Shadow Legends sponsorship, and it'll be the only thing I play for 2 months. You know what I mean? It's crazy. So
if people all of a sudden, like, you should be mad if we sell out and turn into a corporate shill, which is I'm wearing a Pepsi t-shirt and all I'm doing is talking about Pepsi and I'm playing the Pepsi Max video game. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah.
Then sure. If it gets to that point that's all I do, 99% of my content is that, call me a shill and be disappointed, or actually don't even do that. Just unfollow and go watch somebody else, right?
Live your
go
best
watch
life.
somebody else who's not making money and who's hoping that one day they can have enough viewers that they can get a deal to, you know, and then if you want them to succeed, you know, then I don't know. There's a difference between having people succeed and turning into a fucking corporate shill, you know, like, so just don't be that butthurt if someone's doing something. Be glad that they're making more money than you think, than they even realize that they could make by doing such little work. And it's only because they are fortunate enough to have a platform, and be okay with it, and then move on to whatever the next shit is, and be pumped that they just made a fat paycheck.
100%. And the kids that are complaining about it in chat, you click on their Twitch profile, and they streamed last night, and there was a big fat sub goal in the bottom left-hand corner of their stream. You know what I mean?
And it was essentially begging for money. But no, I wasn't begging. I just had my sub goal up there.
Yeah. Yo, guys, let's get to 1,000 followers. One day I can get me the Raid Shadow Legends. I don't know, man. Anyways, we can talk about video games here for a little bit. I wanted to bring this back because we both played a bit of Hired Ops. I played it for like 4 or 5 hours the other night.
I played 2 games.
Which is so Hired Ops is, I don't know the specifics. It's made by Absolute Soft, which broke away from Battlestate Games, or Battlestate Games broke away from Absolute Soft. They started as the same thing, I believe, when they made Contract Wars.
Something like that,
and out of that came these 2 development. You know how many people came in my chat when I was playing it and was like, this is plagiarism. Why are you supporting this? And I was like,
looks just like Contract Wars. This is fucking a blatant ripoff of Contract Wars.
I was like, no, it's cool, man. Like, the Battlestate Games tweeted about it. Okay, so BSG broke away from Absolute Soft. Anyway, so it's a I don't know if it's a spiritual successor, a remake, or whatever of Contract Wars, but it's a much more, I don't know what you call that, arena type shooter, whatever. It's Call of Duty, but in Tarkov land, made by these guys. So you got your different game modes, you got your TDM, you got your objective-based game modes. It's Bears versus USEX. A lot of the attachments and stuff, and a lot of the assets. Did you play in your 2 raids? Did you play Woods?
No, is Woods like Woods?
Woods, like the new section of Woods. You know, the like big battered up like barn thing in the new section with like the 2 stairs and the tech loot. Like that area it's Woods.
Dude, how fucking dare they?
Yeah.
The first thing I noticed was like enemy down, like the USEC one. I was like, whoa, what the fuck?
Yeah.
All the USEC lines and
all
everything.
The
it's
lines.
Because like it's a part of the Russia 2028 universe.
Yes.
It's the same universe, you know. It's like when the Elder Scrolls Oblivion, you know, came out, and then Skyrim came out, and there was like, oh, those fucking people stole from Oblivion.
Yeah.
Oh, like, this is literally it's Contract Wars is like the grandfather that you can say kind of had like 2 kids, estranged kids, and you know, one was closer to Contract Wars, followed in their footsteps a lot, but like that's a bad metaphor. I don't know. Who fucking cares?
I get it. Yeah, and it's I don't know, man. It's cool. So it's got a lot of the Tarkov connection, a lot of that stuff going on, and it feels a lot. It's very, you know, Call of Duty E, and a little bit of the like almost like mobile game feel, where like you got the premium currency and you can purchase skins and packs and camouflages for your guns and all sorts of stuff.
I didn't get into it that far. I didn't know anything about it. I mostly just I played 2 games, and they were both gun game, and
rip.
And then like the second time it ended up being it's like not using the gun I wanted to, having to change it, and then like they all have mods. they all had like red dots on them, and there were the annoying red dots that like I never used in Tarkov, like the aim point or whatever.
See,
so it just like
yeah,
it just didn't feel great. I just wanted to go play Tarkov because then I could like choose my shit.
Yeah, some of the guys in the one of the like Tarkov discords, like some of the guys were giving away codes to some content creators that gave you like a bunch of the premium currency, the premium version of the account. And so I went in and like maxed out my M4 and like built it just super swag, suppressor, optic, the EOTech one that I want, boom, boom, boom. And it was, dude, using that was fun. We were playing a bunch of the different game modes. Gun game I didn't like. Skirmish was really interesting. Everybody on each team, you get, it randomizes what you get. So all 4 of us on my team got a random weapon, sometimes a grenade, sometimes not, sometimes a sidearm. And then every round, it was just like everybody only has 1 life. And then when everybody's dead, it's their next round. And that game was fun because it was just like different. The rounds were really quick. It wasn't like gun game where every time you died, you started with the 1 gun again. Every round was a different gun. That was fun. Our problem was that it wouldn't even let us play on US servers because I don't think there was enough people playing. So we had to open up like Moscow and France. And so like sometimes when we were playing, it was like 400 ping, and it was like, it's just not fun.
You fucking ping abusing.
Yeah. I didn't feel like it was abusing me for sure. But dude, I don't know. I liked it because I had no expectation for it, right? Like
the fact that it's a free game means like
I didn't
anybody with no money can jump in, and the game was fine. It was perfectly fine.
100%. It doesn't need to push the medium forward. It didn't need to be. It's a free game set in the universe of my favorite game of all time. Sure.
That people always complain is too expensive.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know, man. It was fun. I'd go back and play it again with friends if we could guarantee like East Coast servers were popping and we could roll it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was fun. Yes, of course. It's got some of the mobile vibes where you level up your stuff to get the stuff, or you can get the premium currency and pay for stuff, and you can get the premium currency, but you get it slowly. But I don't know. I mean, I don't even know if that's called pay to win, because I don't know if the things you pay for, like, I don't think they did more damage. Like, what I thought it was all cosmetic. I guess the attachments don't do more damage, but they help. I guess it's along that line of pay to win, but
yeah,
it's freaking free, and it was set in Tarkov universe, and it was fun. So I don't know.
I wasn't on it for very long, but that's largely because like right now I just have a short attention span, and I am like not in a shooter mode. I'm sure I'll go back and play it.
That was gonna be.
No, go ahead.
That was going to be my question. I was wondering if you had any shooters that you want to play, were open to playing, that were just like throwaway, you don't care. Like, it's hard to play Tarkov in the I don't care attitude, because the things you do care about keep hitting you in the face, and you're like, I like the audio. Like, I just can't. You know what I mean? You just can't care about it. So, like,
I mean, Insurgency is right now the one game where I don't even know if there's levels or unlocks. I just don't care. Like, I can always find a loadout and just have fun running around and gunning.
Yeah. I need to play that. I've never played Insurgency.
Oh, brother. But you saw did you see the Getting Tarkov video where I talked? So, dude, that has
the ambient audio of everybody yelling and like,
dude, holy fuck. You will really enjoy it for sure. And what, you know what? I should say don't play it, because what it's going to do is it's going to give you a real obvious taste for all of the things that Tarkov could have. Yeah. That so many people would be butthurt about just on principle alone, not because it's right or wrong.
Don't you dare tell me there's player indicators in that game.
Oh my God.
Don't you dare tell me. Okay, well, okay, but that game can't be attempting to be realistic at all. Like, it's Fortnite, right? If there's player indicators, like, there's nowhere on the website is the word realism, because
except the one thing in fucking hired ops was that the player indicators are floating everywhere all the time,
Yeah.
and you can see them. It's actually a worse version of Insurgency,
Yeah.
because you know how many times it's amazing how common a teammate indicator across the map will overlap with an enemy
Yeah.
that's in between you, that you're like, you don't shoot them
That
because
happened
the
to me.
indicators, you know. And it's like, well, that was my main criticism of Insurgency, was that there are times where that happens. But if you had the indicator and you could only see it when they were in line of sight, it would be like the perfect medium,
100%.
you know. But
No.
but yeah, no, you should give Insurgency a try, because
I need to give that.
the soundstage is fucking great. The graphics aren't as good as Tarkov, but
Mhm.
some of the graphics are, like,
Yeah.
some of the environmental stuff is realistic, and really immersive, and it's absolutely worth giving a try to. I'll fucking sponsor a stream just to see you smile.
No, I need to do it. We've been playing. I've been actually like having a lot of fun playing Call of Duty Warzone, which some people are like all about, and some people are like fundamentally not about. But I personally miss playing BRs. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know you were in a PUBG for a really long time. Like, I miss the like ability to play a throwaway game where, you know, you look up and you're like, oh, I'm top 25, and you lean in a little bit and you're like, oh, this can be intense right now if I want it to be, and I want to win this. But if I just die, rinse and repeat, die, rinse and repeat, die, rinse and repeat, I'm also okay with that, because I'm just chilling with some homies.
That's kind of like speed running, where like one in every 50 runs is like,
you lean in.
Gotta pay attention. Oh shit, I just realized I'm doing well. But for the most part, like, you're just practicing otherwise. You're sitting there, you're playing catch with a buddy while you're talking. You don't even realize you're playing catch, but what you're doing is fucking practicing, you know?
100%. So I've been having fun playing Warzone, because it's just like, I like the intensity of BRs when you're like halfway through. It's just fun to have something where I just honestly don't care if I die at all. You know what I mean? Like, so I've just been kind of like moving around. Like, I played Hunt with Pep. That was fun. Hired Ops was fun for what it was, in my opinion. Warzone has been fun. I definitely will check out Insurgency at some point. So it's been, dude, it's just been fun to play other shooters. It's been weird, because like, for
you fucking
washed up piece
of shit,
Tarkov
dude. Like,
made you.
Remember when you had fucking 13,000 viewers, and now look at you.
For 24 hours, I had 13.
You know how many people fucking say that? They come in and they followed me on the day I had drops. Like, wow, what happened to your stream, dude? It's like,
how do you go from 100,000 viewers to like a few hundred?
Imagine having 100,000 and then falling down to 500. Imagine.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. It's been fun to just play some other games, play some other shooters. It gives Tarkov a fresh perspective when I play it. It's just fun to hang out with the homies, and I don't know. It helps. It really helps. Like, it helps me care less about the problems in Tarkov.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because it's just like, if it's all you do. Sometimes I had a big moment with that a few months ago, where I really, really started looking through Tarkov through the lens of everything we talked about earlier, which is the like lens of, I'm so ignorant on how to make a video game. It's just easy to, after 2 years of playing basically exclusively one video game and playing that game multiple days a week and then making YouTube videos, it's easy to accidentally get swept up in like being really frustrated when they change a quest to like X as opposed to Y. And it was a few months ago, 6 months ago, where I like, on the back end, I realized I got way too unnecessarily frustrated about it. So I've been trying to like loosen my grip on the whole thing. And I haven't until just recently started playing other games. And it's like, after playing COD for a few hours, the next day I hop on Tarkov, and it's like, it just doesn't like, cool. Like, it doesn't matter. You know, when they get to it, though, I don't know. It's helped just like ease it off and make it, I can enjoy, because you play those other games and you realize there's problems in all of them as well. You know what I mean? It's like the cheater problem in Warzone is like bad. You know what I mean? So you're just like, oh yeah, okay, cool. Like, whatever. They'll get to it when they get to it. It helps me be excited for Tarkov. Like, Tarkov has a really busy year ahead of them if they do everything they say, which is a big if, but if they do, it's going to be a lot of cool things. So it helps, like, outside of
it's
just
like getting stuck in the house.
Yes.
if you were stuck in a room with your significant other and all you had is that one room, and every little detail about like the fucking paint to the way that they chewed to everything would drive you absolutely insane.
Yeah.
You know, but if you can fucking get out, get a little bit of fresh air, grab a bite to eat somewhere different, you know, whatever, when you come back, then you can enjoy your fucking time together.
You have it. Yeah. Yep. Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
No, you are turning your back on. You got a streamer item and then stop playing the game. What a piece of shit you are. Nikita is literally up at night every night because you backstabbed him. Actually, speaking of, I got a message from Nikita and I haven't looked at it.
Yeah. We fixed the netcode with the like celebration emoji.
Oh shit. Augers. He said, "Hey man, today we uploaded an improvement to player movement smoothness. It will be cool if you will check."
I actually saw that in their tweet today. I didn't know what it meant. Player movement smoothness.
Huh. See that? And then that makes me happy because the last fucking time I complained, it was like the movement is so fucked, you know, whatever. And then I stepped away and I'm like, this is never going to be fixed. And then the next message I get from Nikita is like, hey, we fixed this thing. Check it out. It's like, now cool. I feel cared about and listened to. And now I'm also excited to give it a try.
Bro, speaking of which, did you see, because we talked about how Unity 2019 from smarter people than us that work in Unity say that network improvements are a big thing. And then even Nikita mentioned something like that. Well, did you see, this is like a way down the road thing, but like yesterday, NVIDIA announced that they're partnering with Unity to bring DLSS to Unity, which is cool because DLSS is a great way to render high resolution gameplay with much less system resources.
Damn, son.
So I don't know what version of Unity or how long Tarkov will take to get there. I'm not saying like this won't be a soon thing if it ever makes it to Tarkov, but I was like, that's kind of dope. It could make it one day. DLSS is pretty cool, especially on the 30 series cards.
Oh, man. See, now all of a sudden I've got a little bit of partially a second wind where I want to dip my feet back into some Tarkov science, less about the gameplay, but more like just doing the testing and the comparison. It's fun because nothing matters. You know, like I don't care about winning or extracting or whatever. Now I kind of want to like do an updated fucking Comtax video. And I want to do a video that I've been meaning to do for a long time, which is I want to see the difference between a level 1 strength and max level strength. I want to have them run alongside each other, because I've been told that it's like the Flash and the Tortoise, you know, and it's like, okay, cool. Except everybody I see all looks like about the same speed. Like nobody's ever like, whoa, holy fuck, that guy was flying. So I've always been the one person in every group that I talk about where I'm like, is strength really like a huge game changer? Because you know, I would think that I'd be able to see two separate people and think like, whoa, that guy definitely is fucking max level and that guy is definitely level 1. But instead it's like, you know,
the movement speed of strength, I would agree with you. Like because like what we know about Tarkov is that like you could come across a dude with an exfil and a slick and him be level 5, and you could also see a hatchet runner that's level 69 with max endurance. So what we know about Tarkov is that you can't just look at the gear of somebody and assume where their skills are because it's a crazy game. So that actually means it's a better testing bed for, can you figure out if that guy's got max strength or really low strength? And if it was that OP, you should be able to tell. And I think strictly movement speed, I would love to see that side by side as well, because I think the OP part of it, I almost said OP-ness of it. Like the OP part of it is
the
more,
OP-ness, gotcha.
The OP-ness is like, it was the jumping, but they nerfed that, and the fact that the weight is actually broken. I'm surprised because they've even done nerfs to strength, but they haven't actually fixed, like when you read the text in the game, it says your weapon on your sling and your primary weapon do not count against your weight. But in reality, your helmet, your contacts, your mask, your armor, your gun, your secondary gun, and your handgun, none of that count against your weight.
So is it just your backpack?
It's just your backpack and your rig. So you can have a raid backpack filled with like 2 slicks, an exfil, a rig full of mags, another M4 on your back. Your rig's filled to the brim with mags, and I'm 12 kilograms, 14 kilograms. Nowhere near overweight. Raid backpack full of grenades.
But that is like exactly the same difference as like a Kappa container versus an Alpha container. It's when like people used to say that the Gamma was like pay to win.
Oh my God.
It's like you never lose a gunfight because of the Gamma. They might be able to get more shit out when they die, whatever. But it's the difference between like when people get in fights or when people are complaining about strength. The people that are always butthurt and crying about strength are they're complaining, and the unstated premise is these people are running around like gods and they're untouchable because their strength is so high. They're not mad. They're carrying more stuff. Nobody's mad because you don't see the guy exfil.
Yeah.
All they watch streamers that are like jumping around and whatever, but I've never been killed by any of the places that I see Willers jumping around to, so.
And Willers jumps around to those things without elite strength.
Exactly. So it's like doubly you're fucking wrong. But yeah, people always say like it's OP, whatever, it's unfair. And it's like, how come I've literally it's never been a thing that I've noticed? Well, my head must be in the sand or I must be a paid corporate shill.
Yeah. Yeah. How did we get there? What were we talking about? How did we get to the Tarkov skills?
I don't know.
Oh, you were talking about wanting to get back into doing like science videos, and you said
I might dip my toes back into testing. That might be my like reintroduction. And
we won't see Veritas for like 2 months. No podcast. He'll come back with a super long build and be like, "I built a game in Unity 2019. Here's why you all suck." It'll be amazing. It's like a playable DayZ, Deadside, Tarkov thing, and it's like, this is why game development is harder than you think. I haven't slept in 43 days.
I'm all gray and like I've lost like 40 pounds, which I don't have 40 pounds to lose.
That'd be a great video. But yeah, man. Therapy Seshi episode 49 was pretty solid.
Yeah, thanks chat. You guys were all sitting there we were lying down here on the couch and you were like sitting at the desk with the notepad,
taking notes,
just nodding your head, going, okay, tell me more about that.
Yep.
Tell me more. How does that make you feel?
Yep.
And we were just ranting, and don't worry, we're not gonna not talk about Tarkov in the future. This isn't gonna turn into like a complainy cast, but every now and then, what we want to do is talk about, because we're humans too, and we have our own fucking mental health. And if you want us to continue to be the smiling, happy folks that you liked watching from day one, you're gonna have to let us. You're both gonna have to understand what we feel and why we feel it.
Yep.
Get a little bit of perspective, and then also, hear a little bit of whining every now and then.
Yep. Yep. But this was great. I needed it. I think this was good. This is good, especially after this past week. And
now my guitar is all fucking
cleaned up, restrung.
Oh.
Sexy. But yeah, guys, you know the drill. At this point, thank you guys for being here. Thanks for hanging with us. The guys that hang with us live, thank you for listening. If you're listening later, it's a weekly show. We'll be back next week, and maybe if something crazy happens in Tarkov, we'll talk a bunch about Tarkov. Maybe we'll have DJ Peach Cobbler on, and he'll tell us why Death Stranding is the best game he's ever played, or somewhere in between. But we thank you guys for being here. We appreciate it. The audio and video will go on early next week, and I will put timestamps on the YouTube video. I'm sorry.
You scumbag.
I'm sorry. I'll put them up. They might be rough generalizations, but I'll put them up.
I mean, hey, listen. If one person from the fucking community, like you know what we should do? You shouldn't do it. You shouldn't put up the fucking timestamps. We should have this be an open call to we should put this at the beginning of the video. But this is, of course, more work for you, that after you have to go through and edit and do all the other bullshit, the last thing you want to do is then have to watch the 2 hours back again so that you can bookmark, right? That's why it's so much of a pain in the ass, because once you're done editing it, it's like you just want to ship it, and people are like, no, you need to spend another fucking hour before you can be done, when, you know, your baby's crying and you're hungry and your wife is like, when are you going to fucking hang out with me? If one person from the community wants to just go and listen, and when like the topic seems to change, just make note of the time and then leave a comment, I'll fucking shout you out, like myself. And that happened last time.
Yep.
And I want to thank the fucking person who did it, because they posted the timestamps, and then all I did was like kind of go through, do a once over, copy paste, double checked everything, and then it was KWON, KWON. Thank you, KWON, you legend, for doing the. If you want me and fucking Jesse to kiss you on the mouth, metaphorically speaking, and shout you out, just leave a comment with the timestamps, because Jesse, like what you're doing is giving Jesse an hour of his life to spend with his baby. Is it worth it to you? Anybody? Ball's in your court.
Boom. I'm going to end the podcast right there. No goodbye. No, I'm just kidding. Just right there. All right. Well, yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. We'll see. I love that idea. I'm just worried that, because it's going to take him, assuming he can watch it the minute it goes live, it's going to take him an hour and a half, 2 hours to get him up. And by that point, the complaint train has begun. It's left the station. You know what I mean?
Unless we just train them to know that, we have 12,000 views on the last episode. I got it up pretty quickly after all of that, like, drama with everybody complaining. And, like, we just talked for 2 hours. You're going to have to go through and do a bunch of editing. It's going to take a bunch of time. The last thing I want you to have to do is another fucking hour of listening to us talk just to add. If you're one of the first people that are going to do this, be a legend, and just, you will be a legend. Just help us out. And then otherwise, if we just train the people to know that if they're the first few people,
and you
can
really
either wait an hour or
timestamps, yeah. No, that's true. That's true. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. If anybody wants to do it, we'll do it. Me and Veritas will both be looking for somebody to post them. We'll check them. Put them in the comment in the description so they show up under the thing, and then hopefully we can just train people that if you need them, then just wait a few hours and they'll be there. And if you don't, go ahead and watch them, and maybe you can be the legend that we shout out. So, but thank you guys for being here. We appreciate it. We love doing this. We're excited for the future of it. And we'll see you next time. Peace.
Peace. Peace.